I think the role that VMware can play inside big data and HPC is really as an equalizer. If we look at historically, innovation is driven by people, and increasing access to technology to more people will thereby increase innovation. And I think one of the ways that we can do that is by delivering folks a common platform for innovation. Our pain points are being heard by companies like VMware. One of our common problems was around the ability to install VMware on scale-out systems, and the idea that when we were sitting there, it was revealed to us that there's a scale-out SKU offering. That's validation that, look, we've turned your requests into an offering, into a SKU, and it's being manifested, and here's the delivery timeline.
And I think we're seeing the same thing with workloads again, these HPC workloads, ML, AI, DL, all of these different workloads. Oh, we can't virtualize that. And I think it's the exact same thing we saw in 2005 when virtualization burst onto the scene. Yes, we can virtualize them, and I think we're going to quickly overcome those objections to virtualizing those workloads.
What's happening with the HPC industry is there's a need for a lot of flexibility for driving different kind of workloads. This is driven by big data, artificial intelligence, and IoT. All of those different things force you to create some flexibility. And what VMware is bringing to the table is to deliver that flexibility and that dynamic behavior. Just to give you an example, it used to be where a HPC environment would buy a rack of servers, and each server has a certain function, and the operating system would be completely static. So if somebody would say we want to run a different application on that server, that would be considered a complete redo. While if you do that with virtualization, you end up with the server having a persona, and each virtual machine you could load into that physical server will give you a different persona. And the advantage for that is that your workloads are giving you the ability to be very, very dynamic. And so what VMware is bringing to the table, in short, again, is just the dynamic behavior versus static.
I think big data, when it comes to big data, you have a lot of emerging technologies, and I find that a lot of customers don't really understand those technologies. So because VMware has a simplified interface that customers understand, you can bring in things like machine learning or the latest big data technology and make that easier for customers to adopt and use through the vSphere interface. But it was good to see that VMware is also looking out in the community and seeing what other people are doing, and then also adopting that in a way that they allow customers to utilize some of those same benefits, but through a familiar technology like VMware.
And now taking the HPC application into the data center, put it in a virtualized environment that the IT manager can perform the job without knowing the exact technologies that he needs to do, like the typical HPC IT manager is doing today, is great. And this is why it's so important for VMware to be involved here.
I think the big data space is moving at a rapid pace, and it's kind of getting into areas where potentially no one had thought about even a year ago. So I think overall, VMware, the way it's doing and what I've seen over the past 3 days, it has a lot of market to capture, and it's actually right on track in terms of compute in terms of understanding workloads, and I feel pretty positive in pretty much every aspect in every industry. And I think HPC is going to play a huge role because we're talking about many different workloads, many heterogeneous workloads that are coming in.
Worlds of big data and HPC are intersecting around, the focus area of machine learning. And I see a tremendous opportunity there for customers who are virtualized to be able to take advantage of, their investment in big data, to really begin to derive business value.